Good afternoon, everyone. No one had lunch, it seems. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. आज ही तो hello friends नहीं है. So, friends, I'll be talking about the topic "Say yes to say no." Sounds a little ambiguous, right? Saying yes, saying no together. How many of you all actually find it difficult when it comes to saying no to someone? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my God, a lot of people. So, let me ask you some questions. We'll go ahead with the presentations after that. So, a friend of yours have asked you to take care of his dog or her dog maybe, and who was the yes? And you are not keen on dogs. You hate dogs. You are like, हो गया खराब हो गया weekend. क्या करेंगे अभी? So, what do you do at this particular time? Like, what to do? How many of you will say yes for this? No one? No yes? 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 How many of you will say no? No. Why no? Adi?
I don't love dogs.
Exactly, right? So if you don't love it, you just say, sorry, I can't do it. But sometimes what happens is, we feel that, oh my God, he's my friend, he's taking care of me and all that. And then you end up saying yes, and then your weekend is ruined, and on Monday, you go at work and you're like, खराब कर दिया यार, नहीं रहने का तो कुत्ते का क्या है? So it happens, it's fine, it happens. So, I know it's a little difficult. We'll understand how to tackle such situations in some time. There is one more situation which I have. Your line manager asked you to work over the weekend. What you do? You can't say no here, right? No? So, what do you do here? How do you tackle this situation? Huh?
We work on Friday night.
Okay. ये इनोवेटिव था. सोचा नहीं था इसके बारे में.
You fall sick.
Oh. Yeah, you fall sick. It's the very universal reason for not working on the weekends. But then you must also remember we don't post pictures. Then it happens we post everything on Instagram, and on Monday manager is like, you're sick and all that things. So when these things happen, we are in a situation where we can't understand whether to say yes or to say no, and in the flow of that, we just end up saying, yes, I will do it, I will work on the weekend. Right? So what happens is, when we are young, when we are like 4 years, 5 years, at your age, what happens during that time is, whenever you ask something to your parents, every answer is like no, except for studying. So every answer is no. I want to eat 10 candies at a time. No, you can't. I want to run without my shoes. No, you can't. I want to go for a slumber party with my friends. No, you can't. So when you grow up, you start associating no to rejection, because when you're young, you feel that they say no to every other thing that I ask, and you start feeling that they are saying no because I am asking. So they are basically rejecting me. So actually that is not the case. When you are young, your parents act as your conscience. So whenever you ask something, why can't I have candies? They're like, your stomach will hurt. Why can't I run without shoes? Your legs might get hurt. And why can't you go to the slumber party? That's because you need to study. Right? But today, we will try to understand saying no to grow. Utilizing the power of saying no to grow. So let's see. So most of the times when you say yes, there is a problem that you might not foresee it. It might happen that when you say yes to something, there is some danger which is associated to it, maybe in the future, maybe some hours later, which you will realize after saying yes. And when you say yes, you have taken the responsibility on it. You can't back out right now. So you need to use no as a protective shield. You will always have some certain scenarios where you get tempted to say yes, but you have to think about it. When you use no as a protective shield, what happens is you protect yourself from the dangers of saying yes. So this is something which takes time to cultivate, but this is something which is equally important. Okay. So here is a guy who is a little bit confused about what to do. Let's see what he does. What's going on?
Hey guys, welcome to Let's get into it. When to say no? Say no.
Video is a problem, it seems. Ads.
Hey guys, welcome to
So yeah, these people are looking into the technical stuff. What to do now? So yeah, what we can do is, you people can share your incidences where you said no and you were happy about it, maybe 1 week down the line, maybe a year down the line. You want to share one?
Hey guys, welcome.
So, I was about to do that. Yeah. So there are few people who know me, but yeah. For those who don't, my name is Abhijit. I just finished 1 month in this company. So this experience is not about me saying no or not saying no. It is about someone. Okay, this happened in school. I had a crush, like we all had. Yeah. So. And she was a good friend of mine. She was a very pure, innocent at heart. She was very innocent. So I proposed her, and she said yes, thinking that I'll feel bad. So she didn't say no at the right time. And I was like a total flirt. And then because she was a good girl, I changed into a good man. And then I fell in love with her madly. After 1 year, I came to know that this was the reason she said yes. And it took me 7 years to get over that girl. So the lesson is, yeah. So the thing is, please say no when right. Thank you.
Thank you, friend. So you got the lesson, the first lesson. Boys don't like saying yes for no reason at all. Give them like real reason. He is just not getting over it yet. So let's see the video of what has happened here, and let's see what it is.
Hey guys, welcome to Let's get into it. When to say no? Saying no is super duper confusing problem. Because if you say no, everyone's like, dude, you're so lame. Let's do this. Most of us say yes due to peer pressure, not really because we mean it. Are you ready to fire, soldier? Yes, sir. And if you're too nice, another bigger problem arises. People will take advantage of it. I call them advantage man. The cupcake. I made it for you. Cause you're my best friend. Okay. Then you like the cupcake. Get both of $500. Once you say yes, you're stuck. Cause if you say no after that, you look stupid. Hey, you said you would try sushi. I don't know, man. I don't like it. Dude, we came all this way here cause you said yes. I don't, but I'm not sure. I don't feel like I need it. Dude, don't back up now. Okay, there's a bit also. In reality, you can say no anytime, any place, and as many times as you choose. So here are 2 ways to say no. Start saying no at a small scale. No, not that scale. Start by saying no to that 1,000-calorie cupcake before you start saying no to that life-changing decision. If you can't say no to a cupcake, you can't say no to a bigger choice. Method 2, don't answer immediately. Just say, give me some time to think about it. Because when you take your time to think about stuff, you always tend to make better decisions. I mean, don't I say you should say no to everything that comes your way? Never try anything new. But when your gut is saying no, it's best not to rush into things. Not making a decision is better than saying yes to please someone. Yeah, man. You want to go drag racing at 3 in the morning? Yeah. Remember, it's okay to say no. Except when I ask you to subscribe and share. Okay, bye!
So, the advantage man, how many of you met him before? I'm pretty sure many of you have met him because over the period of time when you start making friends, you realize some of them are pretentious or you realize some of them are just there because you are always available for them. So, this kind of situations will happen or will arrive if you are like there for everyone. If you feel that saying yes is a good thing, being nice is a very good thing, then the advantage man will come and it will eat you. Along with the bill, you have to pay the money also after eating the sushi, which you did not like. So start saying no to. Sorry. So start saying no to smaller things first in your life. Just like in the video, he started from the cupcake. It's very difficult to say no to a cake, any kind of a cake. You can't say no. We wait for birthdays, so we know. So when you start saying no to smaller things, you will start saying no to bigger decisions. You can decide very easily whether to say yes or to say no. Just like the victim of the advantage man, if that guy in the video, if he might have said yes during the cupcake, he might not have to have the sushi. So, stop taking other people's monkey on your shoulder. Has anyone heard about this analogy before? Yes? Yes. So, this analogy is a very good analogy actually. It says that do not take anybody else's responsibility just because they asked you to do it. Because once you fail to do that for once, you are blamed for it for your whole life. You do 10 things good after that, there will be one thing bad that you did and only that will be reminded to you. So whenever the next time someone asks you a favor, keep in mind whether to say yes, to say no. Remember that this is not important. Something might be important at that time. How many of you know Mickey Mouse? Yeah, everyone's childhood friend, yeah, you know. Everyone's childhood friend. He had a situation like that someday. Let's see what he did for that.
You know me, I can't say.
Ding dong! Say, Nick, I was wondering if I could borrow this here chair.
My chair? What for, Luke?
Charity?
Well, gee, we are all thanks, Nick.
I knew it was the charitable type.
You know me, I can't say.
Then why don't I borrow your car?
My car?
Well, it wouldn't be much of a charity to ride without a car.
Can I borrow $5?
Oh,
Do you mind?
Get out! Get there! Get your house! Oh, you
his way out by saying yes I do, without saying no you can't. This way he managed to keep them as friends and still found time for himself and obviously me. So yeah, so this is what happens when you start considering saying no in better ways. So why should we actually say no? Like, is there any motivation to say no? There is a lot of motivation to say no. Saying no opens up the ways for growing. So by growing, I mean whenever there are things which you always want to do, but due to some career goals, due to something like having a job is important, something which you want to do for yourself that keeps you happy from inside. It might be pursuing some kind of a hobby, it might be going to play football, it might be playing cricket, everything. These all things you won't find time if you start saying yes for every other thing that comes in your way. The moment you say no, you will find time to maybe pursue your hobby, maybe play football, attend some acting workshop, whatever it is. So when you start saying no, you start growing, because now you can't say I don't have time. So next time when you don't have time, just remind yourself how many times you have said yes for irrelevant things as compared to saying no for things which are already needed or actually needed at that particular moment. The next point is that saying no may make time for things which you really want. You might really want to go on that particular date, but you did not go. Why? Because something came up at work. Whatever it is. So it will make you do things which you really want. Like I said, going for an acting workshop, maybe attending some kind of a dance tutorial, maybe whatever it is. Writing a blog, making a musically, anything. So everything is associated with saying no. And at the last, what I say is, saying no is important. It is important because sometimes you don't want to do anything. You want to rest because you are totally stressed. And at that particular moment, at that particular time, you can say no and save time for yourself and you can just rest. How should we go about it? How to say no? See, there are a lot of things while saying no. You might end up hurting someone's feelings. You might end up acting as a bad guy. You might look as a bad cop over there. So how should we go about it? First of all, saying no is not a form of rejection. The first thing, people sometimes take it as a form of rejection, but that is not the case. You can say no in a very nice way. For example, if next time someone asks you for a favor, you tell them, I'm sorry, this is not a convenient time for me. Or, just like this 5 points over here, oh, I wish I could. This will give a good understanding to them that, yeah, he wanted to do it, he actually wanted to help me, but he's caught up. His schedule is tight. Whatever are the reasons, there are lots of things you can do. You can say, let me think about that. So when next time, when you don't want to go on an outing with your friends, try this, let me think about that. They will, over the time they will realize that he wanted to think about things which might come up when he is on the outing with us, which will ruin all the fun for all of us. You can use, here's what will work for me. So this thing will tell them that you are interested in the plan, you want to play football, you want to go out on a drinks, but then here's what will work for me. We'll do it this way. If you want, I can join you that way. You can say, can I get back to you? Just sleep over it. Buy some time for yourself. You don't have to say no. At the same time, you don't have to say yes at that particular time. It's not like a deadline-based thing. You can say yes 2 days later or you can say no now. So it depends on how the scenario is or what the scenario is. That doesn't work for me. So there might be some times when people will come and advise you about your work, about the work plans that you follow. But then sometimes your responsibilities might differ. Your time for coming to office, going home might differ from others. So that time you can help this. Oh, this is a very good plan, but I'm sorry, this doesn't work for me. So these are some of the ways you can say no very nicely. This way, you don't hurt anyone's feelings. They understand what is good for you, and they will usually and over the time realize that you're not actually rejecting them, but you're just rejecting their idea of doing things. So someone has said, The fastest way to reduce stress is to learn to say no. This way you don't take extra opportunities, extra responsibilities, extra assignments, and then you plan to, you just, tend to finish all the responsibilities in time, efficiently, and very nicely. So this was all about it. Let me conclude this session. Sometimes saying no is not a form of rejection, but a shield. Like I said, it is not actually something that you reject. You reject not the person, but the idea or the request that he has done. Over the period, they will realize that it is not as much as they had the right to come to you and ask you about the plan. Equal amount of right you have to say yes or no to that plan. Usually, and then you will start becoming the person who is happy with everyone. And let's face it, we can't keep everyone in our life happy. Someday, someone will not agree with you, they will disagree with you, whatever it is. But then something which is good for you at that particular time, that particular moment, we need to do that. Saying no sometimes is proving that you are reliable and professional. If someone asks you to come out with them and you say a straight no, next time while asking you, they might feel a little awkward. But if you give them genuine reasons with confidence, if you tell them that I'm sorry, I can't join this time, I'll just plan it out and we can just go out some other time. This way you are reliable, you are not just being a baggage, because now they are in a two-way direction, whether you are coming, whether you are not coming, they don't know. But now when you say no, they know that you won't be going for that particular outing. Sometimes saying no is important, so people don't take advantage of your niceness. Like I said, the advantage man, he comes everywhere. So whenever you are being too much nice, whenever you try to be available for each and every person in your life, they will come to you, they will talk to you, and they will go. Without considering that you might be busy, you might be having some things to do at that particular time. But the next time they find someone else, they will leave. And another time when they need a shoulder to cry on, they know, this guy is always available, he can go and just, So that way, you can keep people who are actually genuine with you, who actually want to be with you, irrespective of whether you say yes or no. Saying no should be a practice as it leads you to the place where you want it to be. So, like I said in the previous slide, saying no is important to grow. When you start doing something, you move towards perfection. When you start practicing, you move towards perfection. When you wrote your first blog, you're not that good. But 10 days down the line, you start writing very nice blogs. You start exploring yourself. You start understanding that, yes, this is what I want to do. And slowly, you move to the perfection. And then, that is the place where you wanted to be. You wanted to be good at blogging. You wanted to be good at dancing. You wanted to be the best football player ever. So next time, when someone asks you to say yes for something, try and understand what is important at that particular one. But just let's face it, each and everyone sitting over here have someday, sometime, and some has said no to someone. That day when you gave interview over here, there might be friends who might have went for an outing and may have called you like 10 times, 20 times. But you decided there to say no and come for the interview. And hence you people are sitting here. I'm standing here taking the same session about saying no. This is something we all know, but very few people find it easy to follow it. There are a lot who find it really difficult. So, for saying no that time, a round of applause for each one of you over here. And I'm done with the session. So, thank you for being a great audience and being so attentive. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish, for the excellent session. The video of the session will be available on Hive. Thank you and have a great evening.